The Shweet Redemption, a Dungeons and Dragons short story. Shweet had once filled the halls of Eldoria with song. In taverns and keeps alike, his name passed between lips like legend. Shweet the Silver-Tongued, the half-elf bard who could charm a dragon, duel a knight, and seduce a queen before breakfast. His melodies weren't just songs. They were weapons, crafted in harmony and sharpened by truth. But the name Shweet hadn't been spoken with reverence in years. Not since Gravenmoor. They called it a betrayal. The Ashen Vow, his adventuring company, his friends, his family, had died in the Black Fortress's final chamber. And he had fled. That's what the song said now. That's what the wanted posters had whispered. The ones with his face, and the word coward scrawled across them in charcoal. No one cared that he'd warned them. No one believed that he felt the curse slithering through the air like 1,000 unseen voices. The relic, the crown of silence, had spoken to him first, before any of the others even stepped forward. He had begged them to leave it, and when they didn't listen, he left. Moments later, the fortress collapsed. The rest was silence. Shweet hadn't sung since. Not properly. Years later, he wandered the fringes of the realm, hooded, unshaven, wearing leathers worn thin by time and dust. In backwater towns, he strummed sad songs no one recognized, trading melody for food, coin, or forgetfulness. He kept no company, not even the ghosts, until the night he passed through Vargra's Tooth. The desert town was a pit of mercenaries and heat, known for blood wine and bad memories. He sat in a corner of the cracked horn, plucking notes on his lute, his eyes half-lidded as a pair of rough-clad bounty hunters staggered in, soaked in sand. One of them muttered as he dropped into a chair, loud enough to be heard over the hum of the tavern. That crown they found in the bleeding wastes, it's the same cursed thing. Scholar swears by it, said it still pulses when you get too close. Shweet's fingers stopped mid-chord. His breath caught, eyes locked on nothing in particular. He rose silently, leaving behind his cup, his silver, and the rest of the tavern. The loot was already slung across his back before the door slammed shut behind him. The crown had returned, and so must he. The bleeding wastes were aptly named. Crimson sand stretched to every horizon, glinting like rust under the boiling sun. Wind moaned through rocky canyons like it mourned the living, and even the vultures circled in silence. Shweet trudged forward alone. He didn't follow a map, just whispers, dreams, and an ache in his chest that led him like a compass. 3 days passed in a blur of heat and silence before the wraiths came. They rose from the ground like smoke, figures made of shadow and memory. Their eyes were hollow, their voices cut like glass. You ran. You failed them. You let them die for you. He backed toward a dune, heart pounding, hand on the hilt of his rapier. But he didn't draw it. Instead, slowly he reached for his lute. The melody he played was raw, broken, fingers stumbling at first, then steadying. The music curled into the air like incense, filling the stillness between the accusations. It told no heroic tale, offered no apology, just truth, pain, regret, and the flicker of hope. As the last note trembled and faded, the wraiths dissolved into dust. Shweet lowered his lute. He exhaled. Then he kept walking. The ruin appeared like a scar in the desert floor, an ancient ziggurat half buried in sand and time. Its entrance was choked in thorns and broken pillars, and deep inside, its heart still beat. Shweet descended slowly, torchlight dancing off crumbling walls carved with warnings long ignored. At the bottom, in a wide chamber cracked by age, he found the crown. It rested atop a slab of black stone, inert but watching. Its surface was dull, veins of violet running through it like frozen lightning. Bones surrounded it, 3 sets. One of them still wore the remains of a cloak, embroidered with a silver sigil. The Ashen Vow. Shweet fell to his knees. He touched the fabric gently, fingers trembling. His voice broke as he whispered a name. Lysel. A sudden chill swept the chamber. When he looked up, she was there, a spectral figure, green-eyed and grim, hovered near the altar. Her armor was cracked, her blade ghostly, yet he would have known her anywhere. You return, she said, her voice both thunder and silk. To finish the betrayal? He stood slowly. No, to finish what should have never begun. You left us. I warned you. I felt it. The curse was alive, but none of you listened. I ran, yes, but to buy time. I came back. Too late. And with that, she raised her sword, and the chamber erupted in flame and sorrow. They fought among the bones of the past. Shweet was no warrior by nature, but his blade danced in harmony with his song. Each clash of steel was met with counter-melody, his voice weaving spells of resistance, his strikes guided by rhythm. Lysa was relentless, her form both ghost and fury. Each blow came with memory, her laughter around a campfire, her hand gripping his shoulder after a victory, her cry of rage when he turned away at Gravenmoor. He stumbled, fell to one knee. Blood trickled down his arm. The crown shimmered behind him, whispering promises. He ignored it, and instead he sang. I did not run from love. I ran from loss. I feared the cost, the ash, the weight. Forgive me, sister, if you can. I was no hero, only a man. Lysa paused, her blade lowered, the fury in her eyes dimmed, replaced by something softer. Her lips parted as if to speak, but no words came. Then, like a flame at the end of a candle, she faded. Shweet remained kneeling in the silence. Behind him, the crown of silence cracked. The magic holding it together unraveled. In a hiss of violet dust, it crumbled, gone. He returned to Vargris 2 days later. No announcement, no fanfare, just a tired man in desert-worn leathers, dragging a lute and a ghost behind him. He stepped onto the low stage of the cracked horn once more. This time, he didn't hide behind a hood. The tavern quieted, and Shweet played. His fingers moved like old friends reunited. His voice, though rough with sand and pain, rang clear. He sang not of glory, but of redemption, of failure, and the courage it takes to face it, of a name once soiled, now reclaimed. When the final note faded, no one cheered. But they listened, and that was enough. Shweet's name would never be the same again. It would be more. Not a legend, not a cautionary tale, but man's truth, carved in melody, and carried forward into whatever awaited next. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the story. Feel free to subscribe and leave a like for more content like this.